Have you ever wondered if God missed you? If God wanted to be closer to you? Sometimes we wander away from God, kind of like how sheep can go astray, how sheep can find their own way. We might just go down the wrong path and suddenly we're lost and so far away from where we started that we can't find our way back. And we can feel very far from God. A long time ago, the people of God wandered far away from God, so far that they couldn't find their way back, and God missed them. God loved the people so much that God couldn't stand to be so far from them. Imagine what it must have felt like for God to have created all these wonderful people only to be so far away from them. Have you ever created something awesome and then it gets lost? I imagine God felt sad being so far apart and wanted to be closer to them. But God knew that they weren't going to find their way back on their own. So God decided to go and be with them, to get up and go down to where they were and help lead them back to the way that keeps them close by. God loves us so much that if we run down the wrong path, God comes running after us to show us the way back. So God decided to come to earth as a baby. God sent an angel to a young woman named Mary, who was engaged to a man named Joseph. And the angel told Mary that she would give birth to a baby, and she would name him Jesus. And this baby would be holy because he is the Son of God, and he would rule as king forever over God's people. Even though Mary was very young and she knew it wasn't going to be easy, she was brave and bold and told the angel that she was on board with the plan. Then the government decided that everyone should go to the town that their family was from so that they could all be registered. So Mary walked 90 miles with Joseph while she was very pregnant, from where they lived in Nazareth, which is near the Sea of Galilee, to his family's hometown, the city of David, which is called Bethlehem. And I bet you can imagine that if everyone was traveling to their families' homes, everywhere that people were able to stay would be full. And that is exactly what happened when Mary and Joseph got to Bethlehem. The inn was full, so they had to find shelter wherever they could. They stayed where the animals were kept, and that's where Jesus was born. Our Prince of Peace wasn't born in a palace, he was born in a barn. And Mary wrapped him up and laid Jesus, the bread of life, in a manger, a food trough for animals. Nearby there were shepherds who lived in the fields, and they were protecting their flock of sheep that night. And suddenly an angel of the Lord stood in front of them, and the glory of God was shining all around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Don't be afraid. I'm not here to harm you. I'm here to give you good news. News so good that it will bring great joy to everyone. Because I'm here to tell you that a baby was born today. And this baby is the Messiah, the Lord. He is here to save you and everyone, to show you all the way back to God. And you will know it's him when you find a child wrapped in bands of cloth and lying in a manger." And then suddenly there were lots of angels singing praises to God. And the shepherds went and found Mary and Joseph and the child laying in the manger. And then they went back to their field, praising God for the good news of great joy that had been shared with them. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem, a group of wise men came from far away in the east, and they came to Jerusalem, and they were asking, "Where is the child that was born to be the King of the Jews? We studied the stars, and we noticed his star, and we have come to worship him. Now, if you traveled to a new place and were looking for the new king, where would you go? Of course you would go to the palace, and that is exactly what they did. They went to King Herod, looking for the new king. But it must have been an awkward moment because they didn't find him there. Remember, our Prince of Peace wasn't born in a high place like a palace. He was born in a low place with animals and laid in a manger. So Herod was worried and called all his scribes and chief priests and asked them where the Messiah would be born. And they told him Bethlehem. So Herod sent the wise men away to Bethlehem to find the child and told them to come back when they found him. So the wise men went away and followed the star to Bethlehem. And there they found Jesus with his mother Mary. And they knelt down and worshipped him. And they opened up their treasure chests and gave gifts fit for a king. And they returned a different way home to avoid another awkward encounter with Herod. That is the story of the birth of Jesus, the story of God wanting to be close to us. So God came into the world that was formed by God's own hand. Jesus, our God, lived in creation and showed us the way. And we call him Jesus, the Christ, Messiah, Emmanuel, God with us, eternal protector, wonderful counselor, Prince of Peace.